Here's a quick demo of the streamlined process for grading student writing using Doctopus and Goobric. To begin the grading process, I'll create a new Google Sheet for each class period that needs to be graded. I'll give the spreadsheet a name and then use the file folder to organize it in my Google Drive. In the add-on menu, I'll go to Doctopus and launch. After Doctopus has loaded, I will use the More option here to dismiss the pop-up message so that I can then complete step 1, which is to select the correct mode. In this case, we want to ingest an assignment from our Google Classroom. We'll select the correct class, choose the assignment, and I'm going to select to only ingest the files that have been turned in, and then ingest this assignment. Now you'll notice that the spreadsheet has been populated with all of the student work. In this case, I only have one test student, but you would have a line for each student that has turned in work. The blue hyperlink will take you directly to their Google Doc that they've submitted. But before we look at the student work, we need to attach a Goobric or a Google Rubric to this document. I'm going to use the More menu to dismiss this message, and I see I have the option of attaching a Goobric. We also have a couple of more options. We can refresh the edits and the word counts. We can look for new submissions, and we have selected only to search for files that are turned in. We can send feedback email, and we can add a co-teacher to this assignment. But for now, I want to attach a Goobric. Now I need to attach the correct rubric. It's pulling up the most recent ones, or I could go search through my drive to find another rubric if I need to. In this case, I'm going to use the same rubric. Before I attach the rubric, I want to uncheck the Allow Self-Peer Assessment, since that's not our current objective. And I do not want to send email notifications to students. Number one, they'll get an email message through their Google Classroom when you return the assignment, and also sending email notifications during the grading process will slow down that process. Now I'm ready to attach the rubric. Now that the rubric has been attached, you'll notice a new column in your spreadsheet labeled Goobric Link. This is the column that we'll use to grade the assignment. To begin grading the assignment, click on the link that's provided for each student, starting with the first student. Notice that a new tab has been opened that's running the Goobric script. Above the student work, you'll see the attached rubric. There is a tab for each category that the student will be graded on. And on each tab, you'll see the point value and the criteria that we'll be using to grade. In the top right corner, you can identify the student that you're currently grading, or you can toggle to another student that you need to grade. You can add overall comments for the rubric. Also, you can add audio comments to the rubric. Below the comment box, you can navigate to the previous or next student, or you can submit the grading process. You have the option to email the student test scores, although this is not necessary since we can do that in Google Classroom. You can change the permission from Can View to Can Comment. And the reason that this is important is because in Can View mode, students can't see any comments that you put on the side of your document. So if you're adding side comments, then you need to make sure that you change that to Can Comment so they can see those comments that you're making. I suggest that you always auto-advance on Submit, and you can choose only to add the scored categories to the document. In the document below, you can highlight text and add those side comments to provide feedback to the student. Make sure that you click Comment to post that comment. And when you're ready to grade the rubric, click the category and select the score level. Then move to the next category. If you would like for the score to be a 3.5 instead of a 3 or a 4, simply type in the value and it'll highlight the 3 and the 4 box to let them know that they're somewhere in between those two scores. And you continue selecting and completing their rubric. When you're ready to move to the next student, click Submit, and it will auto-advance to the next student. Now that I've graded that student work, I'll go back to Google Classroom and return that work back to the student so that they can see their rubric and get feedback. Now that I'm in my student account, I can see that my work has been returned, and I can open that up and look at it to see what my grade is and any comments that I might have received. Now the student can look below their essay and see the graded rubric along with their score for each category. And at the bottom they'll see a link to their audio recording that you may have left for them. So to summarize the whole process, the first thing you're going to do is to create that writing assignment in your Google Classroom and make sure that you attach the rubric so the students can see the rubric beforehand. After the students have turned in their assignment, you'll open a new Google Sheet for each class or assignment that you're grading. Name and organize that file, run the Doctopus add-on, attach your Goobric, and then open each assignment for grading. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you'll find this process useful for grading student writing with rubrics.